You flipped and voted for McCarthy. Is there a world in which... Well, is there a world in which... No, not for Jordan, but is there a world in which Jordan ever gets the votes? And is it time for him to
I don't think that Jim Jordan, was pretty clear yesterday when he met with a number of us that he asked us what we wanted. We don't want anything. This is not something that we want. We don't want a committee. We don't want anything. So it's difficult for him to say, hey, what can I do to please you? I think the 22 are really solid. We picked up another 3. I think more people are going to come around and say that, you've had your chance. Let's go. Let's move on. It's time to move on. Look, keeping this up only divides the party. We're getting, people calling and calling certain people rhinos and all that. Look, I've been a Republican all my life. I'm a solid Republican, and somebody to call me a Republican in name only is insulting to me. And there seems to be this pressure campaign, and if you put pressure on me, it's not going to move me, because if I somehow succumb to pressure, it means I'm going to be pressured all my life. I'll never be pressured. Anybody who knows me, and people from Miami know me, if you pressure me, no. If you talk to me, if you want to, let's talk about it and all that, my mind could be persuaded. But at this point, I don't see him gaining any votes. I see him losing more and more votes. I think he ought to come to that realization. There is somebody in that conference that we can unite behind. And look, I've been with McCarthy, but I'm not saying McCarthy's going to be the final answer to us. But there's somebody there, and I'm sure that at the end, I'm going to be voting for the Speaker of the House of Representatives. His name may not be McCarthy. But it probably won't be Jordan, and it probably won't be Scalise, and it probably may not even be McCarthy, but we can find somebody in there.
When you met with Mr. Jordan and his surrogates, did they answer your concerns about threats? Did they make clear they're going to try to tamp that down?
He said, no, I don't think he did. I think mostly what he said, look, I had nothing to do with it, but yet today we're getting, more of these text things about, rhinos are stopping Jim Jordan, click here, all that stuff. And that's not what a leader does. And also, look, true leaders are followed. I have to follow you because you're my leader. I don't have to be pushed into you to be a leader. And so you're pushing me, to follow you. That's not a true leader. And so I've known that for a long, long time, and if somebody tries to push me in a certain direction, look, I'll get there by myself. Don't try to push me, and if you try to push me, I'll probably push against you. So that's what we're feeling. Some people are getting threats. Some people are getting threats against their children.
You're getting threats too?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying some people, not me, okay? Some people are getting threats, against their wives and children and all that. It's being very offensive, and so... no, I'm not going to be there.
Is there a world in which you will ever vote for Jordan? You said if you were asked or if you were persuaded.
I will not vote for Jim Jordan. It used to be that I was voting for McCarthy. Now I'm not voting for Jim Jordan.
How much of a role have those originally voted against to oust McCarthy are now saying that they'll do whatever you all need to do, if that's retribution, facing consequences, getting kicked out of conference. If that helps you all vote for Jim Jordan, they're willing to do that. What do you make of that?
That will make me never vote for Jim Jordan. Why? Because if this was their plot all along, to oust Kevin McCarthy, who was a rightful leader, to put the one that they wanted, that's just rewarding bad behavior. And so we'll see more of that. So if that's what they did, they just solidify my vote against Jim Jordan, because if that was their intent all along.
Do you think retribution needs to be made at all against them, or what is your
They followed the rules. I have never asked for any retribution. They followed the rules. They used the rules. But now they're saying, hey, we're willing to, fall on our sword if you make Jim Jordan the Speaker. That kind of shows to me that this was their plan all along. You can't reward bad behavior.
Who could be one person? Those 8. You said there could be someone that emerges who could get the support of the conference. Yeah. Are there any names?
I don't look. I know there's names on the top of my head and the back of my head and all, but the conference is going to make that determination. And if I put out a name, I'd probably poison the individual. I don't want to do that, So because Gimenez is for him, therefore I can't be for him or her. All right, and so no, I'll let the conference decide that. And I know that there's somebody that we can all say, yeah, we respect that individual to be the next Speaker of the House. Somebody that can unite us. Somebody from the look. In order to be a good speaker, you have to be able to attract. Our conference obviously has people on the right and more toward the middle. We're all conservative, but it all depends on the degree of conservatism, right? So you need to be somebody like in the middle of that, that can attract people from the more conservative branch and the and just the conservative side. So, yeah, that's what we need from a speaker. And I know there's people there. I know there's really good people in that conference, really good, solid people with really good backgrounds that can really unite us. And I'm not going to say who that person or persons are. I'll let the conference shake that out.
Congressman, do you support a joint aid package to Israel and Ukraine that President Biden announced last night?
I would like to see that separated because there are members of our conference that don't want to vote for that, all right? And don't want to vote for aid to Ukraine. And I think we owe it to them to allow them to say that because I know there's bipartisan support for aid for Ukraine. And if they don't want to be involved in a vote that sends aid to Ukraine because they're ideologically or whatever opposed to that, I think it should be separated. Aid to Israel and a separate vote for aid for Ukraine. I'll be happy to vote yes for both.